What? This week on Barely Stable, drama in Jonesboro.
T-pads. We'll have the first regulated, standardized T-pads in the Disc Golf Pro Tour soon. Will they be long enough for James Conrad?
How about another fantasy update? Let's go!
All that and more this week on the Barely Stable podcast. Welcome to Barely Stable, an intermediate level podcast.
Hosted by Daniel Freeberg and Nick Barr. Produced by Daniel Rigdon. Studio engineer Trevor Williamson. A cool disc golf podcast for intermediate players. This is the Barely Stable podcast.
Live from beautiful Austin, Texas, this is the Barely Stable podcast. We're ready to BS. Here are your Barely Stable hosts, Daniel Freeberg and Nick Barr.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Barely Stable podcast. We're on episode 16. We're not going to act like we're surprised because we've been here before. With me, as always, is Mr. Daniel Freeberg.
But I want to act like I'm surprised.
We have a thing we do.
Don't you silence me. Yes, episode 16. Super excited to be here. Played some really fun disc golf this weekend. Played
Awesome. Shout out Nate Tucker. Yeah, got the Wildflower, Central Texas Wildflower Open.
CTWO.
Mr. Freeberg shot a hot round, 960 something rated, right?
969 the first one, 955 the second one, 962. Yeah.
Hot shooting.
Way better than I've
Also
ever.
hot shooting. Mr. Daniel Rigdon back in the booth.
Hello, I shoot hot.
Yeah, at UT, we had a really cool event on UT campus. There's a temporary 18 holes set up throughout the UT campus.
the
Mr.
frisbee
Rigdon.
fling,
Hey, cut back to Rigdon and see his face real quick.
He's so red.
Look at his face.
I just shouldn't talk. I'm just going to stop talking.
Why are you
Just
so
let you guys
good
do
at
the talking. Nope, that's all you guys.
And I'm out of here.
We should let him putt more. He was putting like a madman
Yeah.
down at UT campus.
That was such a cool course.
Such cool. I mean, I wish they did. It makes me think like when we do our first
Barely Stable.
something urban. Something interesting.
It was really cool. You said something to me when you were there, like, if they did this every month, I would do it every month.
And I mean, as far as deal, that was a deal. Like, and it goes to a good cause. Got a cool T-shirt. Sleeves are already cut off it. I couldn't have given them more compliments for how it went. Also, it was set up. I mean, no offense to any TD in the area, should have looked at how they set up their base camp and heads up. That's what everyone's looking for. Just that. Pretty awesome, actually.
I was impressed by the amount of iconic shots. You know, you have like the C right 15.
Bro,
just some of the shots
every hole you stepped up to was a cool shot. I didn't think it could keep up. Like there was, after we were through like 3 or 4 holes, it was like, first of all, should have brought an entire bag. Like I brought the little jam bag, and it was a course to be respected. I saw some people comment on it that like you wouldn't maybe be able to use drivers. It was going to be a bunch of pitch and putt, but it required a lot of shots. It was very cool. Like you said, iconic shots. I mean, it totally delivered.
I was a little sad because there were a few holes where I just wanted to empty the bag. It's like, I just want to throw everything at this. But there were people like, it was moving. It was in the city.
We might have thrown a couple of second shots on some of the fun ones. The island shot down the steps. We got some footage on it. We might throw it in here. Rigdon took a bunch of good video on our card. It was pretty epic. But we're getting into the show today. As you saw, we have a few things to talk about. Jonesboro came and went. It was an amazing tournament. If you guys watched the final 9 on the MPO card, that's about as good as disc golf gets. What a finish. We're not going to get too much into it. We know everyone talks about how it goes, but we did notice some weird drama. Like there seems like there's a lot of important issues in disc golf. There's a lot of things that like require some attention. Some things that actually did get some attention that we'll see standardized next week at the Music City Open, but there seems like there's some people who, I don't want to say that this is absolutely, but it seems like almost they want to bring up attention about an issue that is almost just like a, hey, everyone look at me, rather than this is something that's really an issue here. A video that's gone around the internet this past weekend comes from an FP. Well, it's not really someone who is participating in the FPO division at Jonesboro, and had a little rant that called out some pretty good dudes in the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the PDGA, called out about the shuttles not making it from the players' parking lot to the course in time. Apparently, she was only dropped off 45 minutes before or only had 45 minutes to warm up before her round. Player's name is, where is it at? Rebecca Minnick, 170182. We'll watch the video here real quick. We're not going to play her video on our podcast, but do you want to just...
Yeah. I'm curious about this viral rant that everybody's talking about.
Yikes.
Ready?
We're going to play it right now?
If you're ready.
Let's do it. So we're back. Sorry for, hope they fucking time lapse that because
it's so long. It was 9.5 minutes.
We went 5 minutes deep. We'll read the text that she put. I remember listening to it as I was doing stuff this morning, and I had to have just skipped to the next thing where it was an abbreviated clip. So there's no way I listened to 9 minutes of that. Like, I wanted to fucking kill myself, like 2 minutes into that.
She wants to talk to your manager.
Yo, oh my God. She has sent so many dishes back at Applebee's. Jesus. Okay. Let's address the elephant in the room right away first. But like, what's less than greater than in between her eyes there? Like, she's got something is greater than something else going on with her makeup in between her eyes. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It was a lot of makeup.
It's fucking distracting. But beyond that, let's pull up this person's statistics. Like, there's okay. Yeah. Okay.
It was such a huge rant. And it's like, I would like to validate it if it was, but we're not hearing this from anybody else, right?
Yo, I was so ready to be one more jump on top of like, yo, PDGA, get your shit together.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't feel like that this week. This week, I feel like PDGA made big steps in with the standardized T-pads,
which we'll talk about
things we'll talk about in a minute. But this thing, I went from ready to be like, this girl's like yes, take care of the players, to going, wait a minute. You mean you didn't have the exact warm-up routine that you had hoped to have? I don't want to get too Buddhist here, but your expectations are why you're suffering. Like, the only suffering she's having here is because her expectations were absurd.
Yeah. And it sounded like, and I don't know if this is 100% correct, but it sounded like she was complaining about getting stroked, even though she was there, but she hadn't checked in. And it's like,
this was last week. I heard about this last week, and
at the Texas.
Yeah, here's two facts. Didn't happen to another person that was at the tee box 20 minutes for, and two, it's no one's responsibility to wrangle you to the tee box to be where every single other person has to be before you start. All right, so just looking into this for 2 seconds, this is one of those things that's a lot of flash and no real substance. She has a NASCAR level of endorsements of nobody companies that have just like endorsed this, 876 rated amateur. Now, I think she won her division in NADGT.
That's a big deal.
Huge deal. She's not like a trash disc golfer by any means. Mm-hmm. Like, the girl can play, but you're not Owen, you're not Holland, you're not Kristen, like, you're not like, so like, you're in like, how many, hold on, scroll down, how many FPO, so she's playing in 6 pro tournaments ever. In her life, ever competed in FPO. I bet there's only 4 of those are DGPT or Elite Series, but it doesn't even matter. She's playing in 6 pro tournaments. Let's know your role. I don't care if you're the newest kid washing dishes at a restaurant or you're the newest salesman for Goldman Sachs. You're new. You're new.
You're the newbie.
You're not entitled to anything. That was the most entitled. I grew up being given everything rant I've ever heard in my entire life. It was disgusting. Like, I don't.
It brings up something though that I don't understand, and maybe it's because I'm old, but people bitching about things on social media. It's like nobody actually wants to hear this. So I'm going to
No, there actually are people that do want to hear it. And there's a forum for it on Facebook for FPO players, MPO players. You can just literally message the people on the PDGA, on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, who are looking for these type of problems to solve.
Fix. Yeah.
Now, here's another sad fact. Let's click on her. Let's click on that tournament, Jonesboro. Is that easy to click on there? Yeah, boom.
Yeah.
Let's click. Oh, you're going to need to go all the way to the bottom to find her. Okay. Now
She
click.
DNF'd?
Oh, what
She didn't
happened?
finish it? And she asked for the manager?
So, click on that second round, 999.
Yeah.
That's a DNF.
Oh, but it gets saucier. Let's go find her. What? So on hole 8.
Oh, she did the thing that we just talked about. She's playing bad.
So you know what I bet it was?
Ooh.
I bet she pulled a muscle because she didn't get a chance to warm up enough. I'll bet she pulled. I bet
It was only 40
probably
degrees
pulled her
out there.
hammy. If I had to guess, the old hammy pull.
The old hammy.
Couldn't think of a bigger crock of shit. Now, she did come out and completely shit the bed. She went 2 over. I mean, she went double, bogey, par, double, bogey, and then parred. So, like, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She went 7 over. Can you scroll up a little bit? 7 over. So her 7 over was worse than everyone but one person that played all 18 holes that round.
Yeah.
I don't think the shuttle had anything to do with this meltdown. And I hate to say it, is sort of what's defining a bit of a generation of this type of like piping off. We haven't seen it much in disc golf. You don't.
Yeah.
But if you're ever ventured at other areas of the internet, this is not uncommon. This type of, it was someone else's fault that I didn't do good. Mm-hmm. You know what else could have been that you didn't do good? Your 876 rate.
Yeah. You're playing over your head. Yeah.
You're 876 rated.
If I sign up for Kodo and MPO and get my ass kicked, I'm not gonna do. Of course, I might come on here and bitch about it, but I have a podcast. So
here's what I'm not gonna bitch about though. It's not gonna be anyone's fault from the time I throw my first disc until my last disc is thrown.
True.
It's not. That's always mine. Here's I'm not trying to twist the any more than it's already being like torqued down on.
It's got a hot take.
She brought up she tried to like tie together this thing and become the victim where this is something that's being done to her. Unfortunately, the thing against her case is that the thing being done to her is being done to every other person completely equally. Now, does it suck to tee off at 722? I'll tell you, from a former MA3 bottom of the barrel player, yeah, it does suck to tee off early in the morning.
Still wet.
It's damp. You always get, I hate to say it, when you're playing from the bottom, you don't get any help. You want a better tee time. Here's an easy way. If your first day there, you're like, you know what, this tee time sucks. There's one person that can do something about what time you tee off.
You say play better?
Yeah, and it's you. You can go. Bitter. Yeah, exactly, man. Don't get better, get better. So I thought we could pivot this into a little something that I think we can all relate to, though, and that is a little bit of like ownership. Many times I can go to the course and like, we're 40 something. I mean, we're a little older. This doesn't apply to everyone, but like your body's never necessarily always feeling, you know what I mean? There's always a little something. And I'll be the first one that like after a throw doesn't quite go right and I'll feel my body not feel right. It's felt that way for 9 good throws.
Yeah.
But then on that not so good throw, it's like, I am a little tight.
Yeah.
And you don't start blaming shit, but you do start realizing maybe that there's limitations to how well you're just going to be able to play.
Yeah.
And that's expectations. It's, I think, a realistic expectation for someone just like me. I don't expect that an entire round of disc golf will go flawless. That seems like a poor expectation to have. Yeah. It's rarely happened in the past, and that time it seemed like a fluke. It didn't seem like I had a lot to do with the flawlessness of it. It seemed more like, oh, everything just sort of rolled my way that day.
I like to set goals, not so much expectations.
That's a different thing, though, buddy. Yeah. But when your goal, you know that goal's a process.
Yeah.
You're trying to get there. If you didn't get there on this one, the next tournament's coming around, and you can shoot for that goal again. But we set an expectation. I think sometimes we like, start to find reasons why that expectation didn't happen. It kind of just feels like what happened there, and it was gross. And she tried to call out people by name and try to make it seem like that people were making her not compete well. And that is not what disc golf needs.
She made it sound like people were picking on her. And I mean, people are picking on her now.
Everyone's picking on her now. We're going to ask Trevor about it. He's been there, but like, I can't imagine everyone on tour is not talking about this. All right. Now, I don't want to I did a quick look on her social. She's playing rounds with people like Owen Scoggins and things. I'm hoping that some of the upper echelon disc golfers pull her in the side and go, hey, kid.
Yeah.
Now, she's probably not a kid. She looked like she's like 30-something years old. So she's a woman. She's not by any means a kid. But as being a newer pro, there she is in a picture with Owen right there. Hopefully some of the upper echelon of FPO players sort of just show her the ropes a little bit, because that can't be the way that problems are solved on.
Like, hey, don't do this.
If anything, I'm surprised it's still not deleted. I was surprised that when you went to go pull it up, it was still up there. I thought we were going to have to find it on Reddit or something.
Oh wow. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Is this what she wrote on her? This is the
like the breakdown. Yeah, the thing with her not checking in, like, that's nobody's fault but her own. And then she was talking about needing like an hour to warm up, and I get it. Like, I'm old, I don't want to warm up, but
she had all the time she wanted before the shuttle started. She could have warmed up for 3 hours. Yeah. Like, she could have showed up at that parking lot where there was a field to throw and warm up, and she could have got done her entire hour warm up routine, then took the 10 minutes in, and then had as much time as she wanted to kind of stay warm before she started. She just had the expectation of wanting to do a thing a certain way, and then it didn't go that way.
45 minutes is more than enough time for 2 cigarettes and a Mountain Dew. I'm just saying.
The Freeberg warm-up special, baby. I've seen it, folks, and
sometimes
watch out.
It works.
If you see him between rounds, 2 cigarettes and a Mountain Dew, expect greatness, because it's coming here real quick. Did you have 2? Is that what happened at the CWOT?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I did it on the way there.
Speaks for itself,
the first
folks.
round, and in between, actually, we talked about our friends, the Kitchens, Emma and Logan. Lights Out
Logan Kitchen. We got to think of a good moniker for Emma too, because she's a baller.
Yeah. But they were making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and they're like, "Yo, you want peanut butter and jelly?" So, cigarette, peanut butter jelly sandwich, and no more Mountain Dew. I try to keep it one soda per day.
I got you a peanut butter Snickers from the gas station. Don't leave that out. I left the tournament to help a boy out.
He wasn't supposed to leave, and he left anyway. And I was like, "Well, if you're gonna go, can you bring me back up?"
You're not supposed to leave.
Well, it was only like a 30-minute break.
Was it like a high school dance? Once you leave, no coming back in.
No re-entrance. Nah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, that's I see more and more of that, and I don't know if it's the expectations set on by the fans, or if it's like the just needing to talk about having a bad round. But I see more and more of like professional disc golfers, even our boy Scott Stokely, being like, "Oh, I had a bad round. This is what happens when you're sore in your back, or your body's not well." Or you'll see these other people that be like, "Oh man, I was really trying, but the putts just weren't falling." And I don't feel like you should have to explain that. Like, when somebody comes to me, and I'm sorry, I'm on a rant.
No, let's hear it.
And somebody comes to me and is like, "Oh man, I saw you shot a plus 17. What's up with that?" Like, what do you think was up with it? I shot a whole bunch of fucking bogeys.
Yeah. You know what though? I think I'm 100% in that same category as you. And even when someone goes, "Hey, I saw you shot, let's say, -6. How'd that happen?" I was like, "I don't know, fucking man. Like, 7 putts made it that shouldn't have." Or, I don't know. Like, circle 1, I was okay. But it feels like what some people do enjoy, and we just might be in the minority here. Mm-hmm. They like hearing the post-round recap from pros, like how it went, how they're feeling, etc. Because I feel like people are invested in pros. I do sincerely feel that the golfers are the product in professional disc golf. It's not the game. It's not the discs. It's those people and their stories and how they're feeling. So if I could do anything to help the coverage of Disc Golf Pro Tour, there would be some sort of like actual coverage on the people that are not only behind disc golf, but that are playing, and like what their stories are, covering storing lines, following storing lines, injury reports. Just let me know what's going on with the players. Like, that's a big thing. However, like to your point, like hearing Stokely be like, "Hey, I'm fucking injured, but I'm not going to get a surgery because I want to take my chance playing MPO," and then like kind of shits the bed playing MPO. It's like, yeah, I shouldn't be playing injured. It's like, well, no fucking shit, dude. Like you just said you were gonna like
you told
see
us
the best you could do. And so like, no offense, none of our expectations were super high that you were injured, man. You know, like you didn't need to like,
oh man, I want our brother to come back so bad.
we all want him to. And I think when he's done with his surgery, he'll have a like
he'll be able to.
a fighting chance. But like, I mean, it feels I guess I feel you like do we need to go like 9 bogeys? That's what happened.
Yeah,
there were 9
that's the whole social media though thing. And I mean, we're in a podcast, so maybe I need to get over it. But it's like
no, I like it.
Since the days of MySpace, the social media, it's like, oh, I had a pancake for breakfast today. It's like I don't care.
Yeah, do you remember it used to be Facebook's status was exactly what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like
I'm feeling
Daniel
hungry
Freeberg
today.
is, and then you would just say what you is doing.
Yeah.
Or are doing.
Daniel,
whatever.
Back then, Daniel Freeberg is drinking a lot, but
we want to give Zuckerberg a quick call and be right back after a word from our sponsor. Welcome back to the Barely Stable podcast. We're back here. We're going to talk about some tee pads. We got next week the Music City Open, and we can talk about all the headlines and all the people playing. I think the most interesting thing is we're going to see the first time the standardized, I think they're called, show me, I am already failed. They are from Disc Concepts, the X-Step Pro Turf tee pads. Their marketing guy needs a fucking lesson or two in onomatopoeia, but that is a mouthful. But the tee pads look sick. So they are
pretty cool.
Interlocking plastic things with some drainage that have turf on top. How do you feel about this, Freeberg?
Oh man, the tee pads, it's always the most important thing when you're throwing, you know what I mean, is having good footage. Everybody talked about when Conrad fell out here because the tee pads were a little bit wet. And we've all been on a tee pad that sucked before, that was either slippery or it's too small. I always thought that like they'd say throw from the side of the tee pad if the tee pad's slippery. It's like, well, if I'm throwing from the dirt, the tee pad's not doing its job. And here they're trying to get standardized tee pad. I think it's something that we've been looking for and waiting for in the disc golf world for a long time. And they tested these out in Oregon.
Yeah, in the Portland Open back in 2022. So it looks like you have to put substrate underneath it. So they either put sand or crushed stone. I'm going to be interested. I bet these things work amazing in fair weather. I bet this is an incredible fair weather solution.
A little skeptical.
I'm a little skeptical on how they'll drain. I'm sure they've tested them well, but like I don't know. We'll see. I can't imagine. Actually, I know you want to be a skeptic. I think this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I am positive from one photo, I can't tell how well they were drained, for sure. I guess the amount of surface area that is dedicated to drainage just seems, from like an engineering standpoint, low. Like there seems to be a lot of area for water to sort of settle. And then if it doesn't have anywhere to go underneath, it seems like it was still maybe puddle. I'm guessing that's like a high density plastic that those things are made out of. So they'll probably stand up really well, but I will be interested to see how well they stand up over time. This will be interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious, do they drain, or are they built with the panels so that like the middle is a little bit higher so the water comes off of them? Or like, will it, because puddling is the worst problem.
Yeah, that is a little bit, I don't know. I do like that it's a low profile, so it's relatively the same height as the ground, so there's no big step up. So I think it does solve some problems. I don't know if this is the end-all, be-all solution, but I do think this is a huge step in the right direction. And hats off to the Pro Tour and PDGA for stepping up and making, really just making a stride to make things better. I don't think they are deaf, and I don't think they are not hearing all the same things that we are hearing on social media. If anything, they get more polite and more thought out things said to them by players who genuinely want the sport to be better. I can't imagine they just go, money, 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 money. We don't care. This doesn't seem like that.
And if you're playing disc golf, you want to have the best footing you can have possibly, so you can make the best throws. Like that, at the end of the day, that's what they want to do, is have good drives, and we all want that. There's nothing more fun than watching a pro bomb a 600-foot drive and not fall. Now there's a video going around where somebody fell and threw an ace. I can't remember.
Oh, Kevin Jones?
Yeah,
Kevin
KJ.
Jones way back when.
Yeah, way back in the day. And as cool as that was to see, it'd still be pretty cool to see him do it and not fall.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree. It would be much cooler had he not fallen. Yeah.
He'd probably think it was a lot cooler.
It wouldn't have gone as viral if he hadn't fallen. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just a regular old ace.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take. Kevin Jones reminds me of a baseball player who's like grinded his way from like AAA ball, has now been in the bigs for a while, and like can go on a heater when he needs to, but also like maybe has like the temperament that doesn't necessarily allow him to like lock in and be like as laser focused as like, let's say, other people who maybe like put together 4 rounds, because he sure as shit can throw the disc as far as anyone, backhand and forehand. Like the dude bombs, and not only bombs, but like can make like tricky shots. Like he's got like every single thing in his bag. It's always been weird to me why he hasn't been able to, I don't know, put it together.
Some W's together. Oh man,
Rigdon, what do you think? You were just saying earlier how much you hate Kevin Jones.
I did not say that. I did not. I mean, he has in the past. I think he can just be a little bit streaky, but he's had chances to.
But you said something about him like a rusty gate.
You are making all of this up. I'm putting a stop to this right now.
He had a nickname. What was the nickname he was giving him? I don't remember.
The nickname was Shut Up. So moving on.
Jerry's kids, Jonesy.
I feel like I just walked the plank with Rigdon. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I'm at my end with you, man.
But if he hadn't said all those disparaging things about Kevin Jones,
we never even would have started talking about
and his
Kevin
mother.
Jones.
I'm kidding. We're kidding.
I'll tell you what I haven't seen from Kevin Jones is him going online and bitching about bad tee pads.
True. And he threw an ace. I would also say that he's probably, if I had to say if there's one guy who like is not going to bitch and just going to like adapt and overcome, KJ is probably the dude. Yet, if anything, he'd be like, make it longer, make it harder.
I have a question for you. We actually recently saw Moody's, local places getting a local Moody's disc golf resort. They're getting tee pads, and they were discussing on sizes. Because much like with the panels on these, he had like panels of turf or something.
Isn't it funny that like that's a discussion point? That there's not like, if you were going to put up a basketball hoop,
everybody knows exactly how.
The hoop's 10 fucking feet. The free throw line's 15 feet. It's 6 feet wide. What other here's how deep is the 3-point line? Do you want to do high school? Do you want to do college? Do you want to do NBA? Sure, a little wiggle there. But that's, to me, the difference of short tees, middle tees, long tees. But the basket is always 10 feet. The backboard's always 4 foot by 3 foot. There's always a little white square. There are things that are always the same. If you go to a soccer pitch, now in Premier League, there are pitches that are different sizes, right? Like there are... But the line from the goal, what is it, the 30? I don't know fucking soccer, but those lines are always the same distance. The goal box around the goal, always the same. Like there are standardized things. Like how is it not just a thing where you Google tee pad size, then everyone makes 4 foot by 12 foot or whatever the size should be, tee pad, and that's what we have to use.
That's my question. Do you prefer a longer tee pad? I think most pros would prefer a longer 12-foot run-up tee pad.
I mean, I think the length of the tee pad is less important than this fact, that the back of the tee pad is level with the ground, so that if someone needs a runway like James Conrad, they have those 2 steps they want before they hit it. Even Chris Dickerson, I feel like, gets a good momentum before he starts. Trevor, he's a big runner.
Unless he started way behind when we played with him.
But other guys like Gannon Bird just has a long stride. He doesn't necessarily need a long tee box because he's even just him taking his normal step, X step, that is a larger area. Like it just seems fair to have the tee box be level with the ground behind it. And it feels like that's a little bit of what these enable, at least the smallest difference. It seems like maybe there's an inch and a half off the ground.
It's something that you could step on without.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a super tall guy, but I'm taller and I have a longer stride. I don't like it when I am impeded to like give it. And, you know, I don't have a huge run up, or I don't have like a huge X step even, but like I don't like it when I have to start off the box. My first step is like up and on, and then the rest of the time goes. That feels weird.
It takes distance off for me, and I don't have a lot of distance to start with, so I need everything.
I noticed playing on Monday, I had an uphill stance, how much it took off my shot. Like it was a uncomfortable amount of distance taken away just by having that little bit of incline. And it was mostly a flat shot ahead, but the run-up was almost all uphill. It bleeds away. Now, if it does it in a large amount, I can only imagine if you have to take a step or two up, that has to affect those guys who have a longer walk up.
Do you ever do like a long run up like what Trevor did, or like what a lot of pros do? Like
sometimes in the field, if I'm fucking around or if I'm trying shit, I will try to get more momentum. But I find personally that like what's gained in getting just the mass going a little bit more isn't more than what I can gain by just like having timing be right. So like I feel like sometimes I actually can throw just as far with the proper one step. And if all the timing goes right, it's better than any run up I could do. If just the snap's right. But guys like Conrad, like he has that timing, but he also gets like an extra whatever couple miles an hour of momentum before he goes into it. Same thing Chris Dickerson. So it clearly has an advantage, but I don't think I'm at a skill level that
I'm certainly my coordination is not there.
Yeah, you guys have very short run-ups, right?
Yeah. I figured out the X step, and anything more than that, I lose more in accuracy than I could possibly gain in distance. So
a friend of ours, Jason, just talked about how he's adjusted a little bit from coming at such an angle to coming more straight at it, which
interesting.
I don't know. We'll leave a link to this when I post it down below. But if you're looking for a good form video, actually, you know what? I'm going to leave a link to a whole playlist of disc golf dimes where there's maybe call it the best disc golf videos on. But if you're looking for like help in disc golf, we don't know shit. Everything we're going to say is going to come from those. Yeah, we're just regurgitating shit from one of these videos, but we'll leave a link down below. But the one we'll have outside the list is Simon Lizotte, who he takes, and this is maybe 4 years old. He just takes someone about our level, you know, like
just a random am.
And he just does side by side from the side, the front, and the back. And he talks about timing, you know, mass of his body, where the disc is in relationship to everything. And he breaks it down to very basic forms. And if you can just pick one of those little things and get a little, I think that's more important than like figuring out how fast you can like run into the place. Like I notice a lot of people when they run up and then they kind of like take 2 or 3 steps afterwards. And it's like, all that momentum you just is still like you didn't put any of that. All the momentum that you're going off the front of the box with is not going to the disc. So if you're running up so fast that you can't plant and put all of that, like if you will, like the machine putting it all to that point of like letting go, like why are you wasting all the energy
just
of running up?
Follow through should be
Like I guess I never see a pro who throws really far have this like huge post throw like follow through. So I don't know.
Something to think about. I much like I couldn't do the Happy Gilmore run up and hit a golf ball any more than I can do a run up and launch a disc.
Did you see Adam Sandler do a Happy Gilmore swing on the like it was his probably 30th anniversary of Happy Gilmore? I don't know, 25th maybe. He was out golfing, teed one up, and I mean, he's at a nice golf course. Obviously, it's Adam Sandler, and he looks like he's dressed for a basketball game with like a polo shirt.
That's how he rolls. Yeah,
it was awesome, and he teed it up, got back, did the whole Shooter McGavin, wiped off the tip of his tee, and then
nailed it.
He didn't show exactly where the ball went, but you could tell.
Solid.
Happy still got
all of it.
Yeah,
fucking baller. All right, well, we'll be right back with Trevor Williamson, and
we got Trevor calling in from where's he at right now?
He's in the Music City, I believe.
Oh, that's right. He's in Nashville. Yeah. So, he'll be calling in from the Music City Open. We'll figure out our fantasy conundrum.
There's, we got some work to do.
We got things to figure out.
Intermediate level fantasy team. We'll be right back.
Everyone loves the feeling of stepping up to the tee pad and reaching for your favorite disc. Imagine if every disc in your bag felt like your favorite. Introducing Sector Disc Golf's revolutionary technology. Approved by the PDGA in 2023, players choose their grip, then choose their rim, and throw with confidence. Available exclusively online at nshcustoms.com. Sector Disc Golf, Austin, Texas.
And welcome back to the Barely Stable Podcast. That was our official sponsor, Sector Disc. With us now, we have Trevor Williamson. We've been missing him. He's been on the road. How's it going, Trevor?
It's good. I'm enjoying life out here. Working for Disc Golf Network is a great time.
It seems like it, man. So you've been at now from States. You've gone to Jonesboro. Where are you headed to next? You're going to Music City Open, right?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Calling in from Nashville. So what do you like? What's the day-to-day life for you as you shoot video doing coverage for Disc Golf Pro Tour?
So day-to-day, I mean, I'm only working, for the most part, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Call time's like 7:15, so, waking up pretty early, it's sundown. So yeah, I get off like right before the sun goes down pretty much. So
yeah, it's only 3 days a week.
Doing,
but those are long days, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're doing 2 rounds a day. I've got a 30-pound backpack and like a 30-pound camera and so that it's definitely not easy on your body. So yeah, you got to respect the guys out there. You're actually busting your ass, out there running with the monopod and gimbal, like just carrying that gimbal for the whole round, I've got a new weird pain in my finger now, it happens, but yeah, small price to pay for a
living your
time.
Dream.
Yes, exactly.
So are you getting to play any disc golf while you're on the road?
That was gonna be my question too.
Yeah, as much as I can, So, yeah, since I'm only doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday, I've got those other days to play.
Any cool rounds you've got to play with any of the crew or MPO or FPO players?
No. I haven't played too much with the crew. In Austin, we played we played Sprinkle Valley with a few of the crew guys. That was fun. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into playing. I actually played the qualifier yesterday for Music City. If you want to know about that.
Yeah, how'd it go?
How'd you do? Yeah, absolutely want to know about that.
It went terrible, quite bad. So I'll say that course is massive. When y'all are watching this weekend, just know that this course is super long. A lot of OB. You're just out in the open the whole time. You're just throwing as far as you can on every shot. At least I was. So yeah, it's hard to be super accurate when you're throwing as hard as you can.
How was wind out there?
I got an 11 on hole 13.
Brutal.
Y'all see hole 13's. I think par is great. Yeah. So, anyways, it was super humbling. I think I got last place. I haven't done that in a long time. So, I honestly I'm excited to see what the pros can do now that I saw what I could do on that course. But, it's actually going to be pretty brutal walking it twice a day with all that equipment. But I was supposed to be my off week, but I just got a call that there's an opening and I have a full weekend of work if I want it. So I think I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Well, since you've mentioned the Jonesboro Open, we have the results of our Fantasy League Jonesboro Open right up on the screen next to you. And it looks like, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but it looks like you went from first place to last place in our Fantasy League, my buddy. You started the week in first and dropped to fourth.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. My boys are not doing their thing. I don't know what happened.
It doesn't look like your ladies are doing the thing either. You got 0 points from your FPO.
Missy wasn't helping you out. Looks like this week around.
Yeah, I think she's just chilling off of U.S. Women's.
Yeah.
She'll come back for a major. Just wait for the next major. Honestly, she should get more points for the major. I don't know.
That would have been kind of a cool thing to do. Everyone pick one player in U.S. Women's. That would have been a good sub week. But it looks like I stayed. Oh, go ahead.
Good thing we got a redraft today.
Oh, yeah, we got some movements.
Yeah.
Looks like I stayed in second place. Freeberg jumped up to third.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here, baby.
And then...
no, Freeberg's actually in
Freeberg's
first place.
Sorry, Freeberg's in first. So last and first swapped, right?
No. So he's up 2 spots. Freeberg's up 2 spots from third place
all right
to
there.
first. Yeah. Sorry, I got this pulled up right now. I moved up from last place to third place. Trevor moved from first place to last. He's Bob now. And Nick just chilling in second place.
That's a cool way to do it where it's like the order on the tee box.
Yeah.
Who's Bob?
that.
Oh, because we have like a full card. There's 4 of us. Wow.
Look at that.
Get off my box.
All right, so what we're trying to do this week, right? We're trying to pick one additional Texas player.
Correct.
And add one other player to our lineup, right? So a player that we can swap. So we have to, if we add a player, we have to drop a player.
Correct.
But our first, through the snake draft, we're doing a Texas player, right?
Actually, you can do whichever one you want. So
Okay,
as we go
excellent.
through the snake draft, if you want to swap a player first, and then on your second time around, you can add a Texas player. That's fine. Kind of whatever order you want to do. It gets a little strategic that way.
Ooh, and then it looks like Trevor, while he might have slipped into the first pick, though. So that's a very, very strategic
He
move
did?
there.
Yeah, Trevor is up. He's got the first pick. So Trevor, you can go ahead and add that Texas player, or go ahead and swap an existing player that you have. Drop a player and add a new player.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna add a Texas player instead of dropping, and I'm gonna add Robert Burridge.
Robert Burridge.
I'm putting my money on Robert.
Let's go, Robbie.
Because from what I've seen, I'm gonna sub him out for Emerson right now. That's the strategy. That's the strategy behind it.
Who is Robert Burridge?
Who is Robert Burridge? Well, he's sponsored by Lone Star, I believe.
He's not a dog, is he?
He's sponsored. He's young. He's young. Very young. He throws like, I remember hearing stories of him throwing like a 500-foot forehand and stuff like that. So yeah,
rated.
dude.
1021 rated. Sounds like a dog. Good choice. All right, who's next up on the order here? Mr. Rigdon?
I'm up next.
Holy shit, we got to the second pick.
Yeah,
Let's go,
I appreciate
Richard.
the
Let's
decisiveness.
go.
I'm going to go with an interesting pick. I'm going to add a Texas player. I'm going to add an FPO Texas player.
Ooh.
It's a little spicy
What's
pick.
happening here?
Maria Oliva.
Ooh.
Just had a very strong 4th place showing at the Jonesboro Open. I don't know if I'm going to be playing her that much, because I do have Bradley Williams, and he's been solid. He's always going to be solid. You know, he's going to end up
Smoothest
he's always going to be
tour.
in 30th place around in there. But if I'm feeling like she might go on a tear, I might sub her in. So that's what I'm going with.
I like that.
Oh, we got Mr. Barr next.
I'm going to swap Katrina Allen for Valerie Just kidding. I'm kidding.
I didn't drop Valerie though.
I know. He's joking. We joke over here.
Yeah. These are jokes. I'm going to go for the she's the young assassin from North Carolina. She's won $157,000 in her lifetime. I feel like every time I look at her, she's lost 8 months of life, like she's Benjamin Button of disc golf. But Miss Haley King, I'm going to go ahead and let her start racking points. She's consistent, good player.
Yeah.
And might be the nicest person on the planet, but definitely in disc golf, in my opinion, right now. So go get some points, King. Queen.
That's a
You know what
really
I mean?
Queen King.
That's a really solid pick. She's one of the highest rated FPO players. I mean, she's like 975 rated. She's a great player.
Just keep slinging.
Hell yeah. Okay, are you gonna put these up on the thing so we can see who's picked?
Ooh, is Trevor in the document too?
He might be. Yeah, if he wants to
Yes.
help me with help me put people in, that'd be great.
So you just subbed Katrina Allen.
Yeah,
You dropped Katrina.
yeah. So Katrina's available.
Yeah, but she's preggers, right?
Yeah, she's only got like a couple more
Yeah, no
tournaments
one's
left.
gonna pick her up.
I was just making sure that's who you chose. So my question to you is, are you gonna sub Kat for Haley?
I can see that happening
sub
frequently.
Kat, Haley, what am I saying?
Yeah. I think Haley's
what I
going to
mean.
go in the lineup this week immediately. Cat Merch,
okay.
I'm not going to drop her off the team, but because I'm Team Cat Merch to the DIE. But
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
I mean, if you want points, I think you got to go with someone like Haley King to start scoring some points in the FBO spot.
I like it.
Nice. My turn.
your turn.
All right, so
You get 2 turns in a row.
I get 2 turns in a row.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up Texas player. Is it terrible to pick up another? It's not terrible, but is it crazy to pick up another FPO?
No.
I'm gonna pick up Emily Weatherman,
Okay.
and she's not crushing it, but she's a new name, kind of up and coming, moving up on the lines. Made a lot of money. And then I'm going to regret this. I just know it, but I'm going to drop Paul Macbeth. I'm going to pick up my boy, my hero, my idol, Ezra Adderhold.
Ooh, I thought he was going to say Scott Stokely.
Oh. That's a great play.
So,
Smart move.
And I'm done.
so he just dropped Paul Macbeth and picked up Ezra?
Yes.
That's a good call.
I think that I watched Macbeth go off next week, but watching Ezra play, I didn't watch all the tournament last week for Jonesboro, but like the dude's solid. And I met him and he was cool, and he took pictures with us, and
He's playing like a winner right now. I mean,
Yeah.
he's really putting together some good rounds and playing under pressure as well, performing really well.
and Nikki says his arms are sexy, so we're keeping him.
Objectively, sexy arms.
Yeah, I agree. I did. She said it. I agreed. I think I might have said it too, and she agreed. But
All right, Nick, you can add a Texas player now.
All right. I'll take. You know what? Give me Kramer. Chandler Kramer. It's my second Texas.
that was my other thought.
Who knows? He'll see. I don't think he'll outshine Mason Ford, but if Mason goes down, not a bad backup.
That's a good pick. And so for me, I can now swap a player, and this might come as a surprise to you guys, but Simon, I am going to swap Simon for no one because he's my boy, and I'll just pass.
I think you can pass.
I didn't know you could pass.
Oh yeah, you could have passed if you wanted.
I mean,
wanted
you
to
have
pass
to- you
to
have
last
to-
pick and then just did something on your last pick. We could have saved all that time and just let
I
you
didn't
pass.
do anything but add a player, so we're fine. But
Yeah, you don't have to swap any players if you don't want to. Sorry if that wasn't
Yeah.
clear. You're not forced to get rid of a
I don't
good
want to drop
player.
anyone. I don't
Yeah.
want to drop anyone.
Okay, so you're just gonna
Hey.
pass.
Let's
Booyah.
go. I'm happy with where I'm at.
We
I'm
did
still
it.
gonna stick it out with. I'm just going by numbers. I'm going by numbers. I think I have the best players.
All right, Trevor, I got one quick question for you before you go. Are you going to come home to play in the Capital of Texas Open?
What's the dates? I'm sorry.
I think it's like
I
May
feel bad.
17th.
I can verify. Hold on.
Yeah. Yes. Answer's yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Because when is DDO? It's like, let me look. I got it. See, DDO is May 3rd through the 5th, and then OTB Open is May 17th through the 19th. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to Stockton. So, yes.
Well, we'll get to play Roy G, Sprinkle, and Met Center, which sounds pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Right?
I didn't even know that. I've played Kodo the past 2 years, so yeah, I'm excited.
All right, buddy.
I can't wait to be back there. It's
Can't wait to get you back.
better.
You got to show me how to beat Sprinkle because that course has been owning me lately.
I don't know if I can show you. I've only shot under par like one time, so.
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to break 10 lately, so under par sounds awesome.
All right, well, Trevor, thank you so much for calling in. We are going to get out of here. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. We got our social stuff right here. Like, follow, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Go follow Trail Candy and Trevor out on Instagram if you want to see what he's up to out on the road. You got Team Potato there. You got Rigdon in the back as always. Until next time, this is Barely Stable Podcast. We'll see you around.
Just be cool.
Time, weather, and always pass. Case.
That's a hot take.